Good morning, everyone. I have with me this morning Alex, all the way from Bali.
Hello, everyone.
Oh my God. We were talking right before we got on. What an amazing life you have to wake up in beautiful Bali. I am jealous. Not that I couldn't be there, but sometimes life takes you in different directions and there's places you need to be. So I'm definitely living vicariously through you, Alex. So how long you been in Bali?
It's been more than 8 months now.
Is this like your other home, or how do you consider
This has
Bali?
been my favorite place for the last, let's say, 5 years since I first discovered Bali. I've been coming back here for a few months every year, but now it's definitely been the longest that I've been here. Yeah, eight and a half months. Yeah,
Wow.
can't
Is
believe
there
it.
is there an ecom community there? What attracts you to be there?
There's a lot of things. One thing is the culture here, the people, the vibe, the energy. The place is like because the local people practice gratitude a lot in their religion. Everybody is very welcoming and it's very open to serve you and to acknowledge you and to smile at you. And this gives me a very warm hearted feeling, as if I'm home, as if somebody is welcoming me in their home. There's the other thing is affordable luxury. A place like mine, a 3 bedroom villa with a huge pool and crazy services and staff 24/7 and so on. It's about $1,500 now per month. So that
What's that? You mean people are coming in and cooking for you and cleaning and
yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, so it's quite amazing. Then it's also a tropical island, so I have to be grateful for the weather and for the climate in general. You know, it's there has been a bit of rain for the last few days, but in general it's beautiful. And landscape, a lot of activities, the entrepreneurial, I can say, groups that we have here, they're also great. So there's a bunch of reasons to be in Bali. And another one is feeling free, because in most places there still isn't any fear of the virus. It's more a fear of the economic downturn, because most people on the island live off from tourism. So because of this, they're more, yeah, a little bit scared.
and so
But
you haven't seen tourism that much since the whole virus thing started, or do you still see people coming in a little bit?
people are coming in because there's a secret back door that not a lot of people know about. And I know friends that came now, and the door is still open. So if you want to come, or anybody looking at us now, they can write in the comments, and I will link them with the right people.
That's amazing. Well, thank you for the invite, and I'm sure those who are listening will take you up on it, and we're all going to show up at your place in Bali. But Alex, this is so amazing because you were talking about gratitude, and in my opinion, gratitude is really the secret of life. Would you say that that's a true statement?
I would say that's one of the secrets to a good life. Yes. And I notice this here in Bali because people are practicing this offerings. So every day they have these small things that they make with their hands, and they put them outside their homes, because they believe there are good spirits that must stay inside and there are bad spirits that must stay outside. So you give the offerings to the bad spirits, so they don't need to come inside to stay with you. They believe everybody needs to stay on the same in the same place. But please stay outside if you want. And and I see how this practice is changing their life literally. Like they are smiling without having anything. They are grateful for what they have, and they see foreigners next to them making a lot of money and doing crazy things, and they're just smiling and saying, "How are you?" and doing like this, and that's it.
And they're
They're
thankful
grateful.
for their life, however it is. They're very thankful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
And
because it's life. Yeah,
exactly. That's so beautiful to hear. So I have visited Bali before, and I used to live in Asia. So I have some knowledge of like the tradition and the offerings and all that, and it's so beautiful that you were able to immerse yourself with that and really take on that, because I don't know if everyone knows here, but me and you are from the same country, and we both grew up on under the same society and mentality. And I don't want to put any negative connotation to this, because it's what brought us to where we are right now. But
definitely.
how would you say Bali's different from Romania, but not the Romania now? Think of the Romania back then when I lived there, because I'm not really knowledgeable of how Romania is right now.
Well, I don't want to talk like negatively about Romania either. I think it has changed in some ways, but in other ways it hasn't. And one of the reasons why I'm here is because I don't want to be in Romania. And I think you are there also because you chose something else, not the Romania that we know. So there's a lot of things that are maybe not so comfortable. But when I left Bucharest, I felt like I finished that level. Like I lived everything that I needed to live in that environment, and now I can spread my wings and go further. It's not putting it down or in any way. It was just my feeling inside. I know people that are happy that are now in Romania, maybe not right now because it's a different situation now in Europe, but in general, they are happy with their choices, and they are happy living in Bucharest. They are making a lot of money from Amazon, and they are enjoying a prosperous life in Romania. It's not what I want for myself. And Bali, I don't know if it compares in any way with Romania in my head. It's just a different thing completely.
Different everything. I tend to agree.
Yes.
One thing you mentioned is like you outgrew that level. It's like when you play a video game and you're like, okay, I've I'm an expert at this level. I want to see what's next. So when I grew up, I felt almost the same way. I felt like I was in a box. But the difference between us is I was never successful in Romania. And what's interesting for me, and I have so much respect for you, is that you were there and you took what you had and you created something so amazing that it allowed you to move to whatever you want. So can you tell me a little bit about how you even started this business, how the Amazon business, and maybe even
Hmm.
before that a little bit, because I'm so curious, how does one person like me become successful in Romania?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I was working in a corporation in a cubicle for HP Hewlett Packard, and I was having a very good life, like a nice car, a beautiful girlfriend. I was going on vacation twice per year. I had friends that I was hanging out from high school. We were going out. We had poker nights every Thursday. So it was like a normal, good life. But I also had this feeling inside that it was not for me. I had this void that it was like, what is this? I felt like on a treadmill. It was draining me from inside. So I quit my job. I tried different kind of businesses. I took a loan from a bank, 10,000 euros, and I thought I want to be a businessman. That's what I'm gonna do. And after six not so profitable businesses and 1 year of experience in not so profitable businesses, I burned through all those 10K. I made them into, let's say, learning experiences.
A very
And
expensive learning experience, yes.
Yes, and then a friend of mine, Ciprian, he came to me and he said, "Dude, I found this thing and it's Amazon, and I already started a couple of months, and last month I did $700. $700. I'm quitting my job. That's it. I'm gonna be rich."
Yeah,
And I
goes to Romania, it's not joke. It's not a joke.
Yes, yes, and the average salary for people that don't know in Romania still now it's about 400 US per month. So that's average. So 700 gives you quite a it's like a step up. You know, like you already can afford something, especially if you don't live in Bucharest. In Bucharest, the life is a bit more expensive, but for the rest of the country, 400 or 700 is quite a sum. So yeah, he told me about this. I didn't want to be his partner. I looked up everything about this opportunity online, and I found on torrents ASM, and I downloaded ASM, and I watched the introduction, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I want to do this." And I called Ciprian, my friend that told me about this, and I told, "Dude, I don't want to be your partner, but let's make a mastermind, and we'll help each other. We'll keep each other accountable, and I will have my own business, but I will help you with yours too. So let's do this." And he said yes. And I also told my good friend Mihai, and I also told all my friends. I was telling everybody about this, but a lot of my friends were also like, "Dude, I don't know. You go ahead, make money, and then if it
And
works,
I'll
tell
share
me about it." Yes. So another three friends said that they want to do this. And we were five guys. We were meeting twice per week in my one bedroom studio in Bucharest, in Vitan, in the neighborhood in Bucharest. And we were sharing everything. We were sharing resources, what we're doing, ideas, everything we can for about 2 hours. And another 3 hours, we were talking about cars because that was our obsession. We were guys, and yeah. So in 4 months, all of us launched their product, and yes, mine grew quite rapidly after that. In the first month, I made $3,000 in profit. The second month, I didn't have any inventory, so that was my first lesson, to buy more inventory. And it started to grow from there. So in about 5 months, I was already making $15,000 per month. And now I was looking at my business, I was looking at my friends. So I decided the best thing for me is to start living my dream, and that was to start traveling around the world. So I put my favorite clothes in one big bag, and I kissed my mother goodbye and my friends goodbye, and I left. And on the 20th of November this year, this like a few days ago, I celebrated 6 years since I've been traveling and living around the world.
Wow. What a beautiful life.
Thank you.
That's yeah, that's quite an amazing story, and I am sure those people who you've got into this game are very appreciative. How are they doing, by the way, right now with their friends?
Oh, they're everybody except one are millionaires now. And I have to also mention two things. One, that I didn't have any more money, so the last resort for me was to sell my car. So I sold my car for the first inventory. And then after I started making money, I thought it's the most ethical thing to do to pay the guys that created this beautiful course. So I bought ASM, and I went to Vegas. And that was the first time that I met and Jason, and I told them my story. And there was somebody else that wanted me to do like an interview for the promotion of the next ASM. And I was talking that I'm traveling around the world and all these things. And then, how did you find out about ASM? And I said, I downloaded from torrents. And then they said, yeah, we're not going to use this this
Yeah.
interview.
Do not advertise this, but that's so amazing of you that you went back and you're like, I want to do the right thing and I want to pay these guys. That's very very nice of you for sure.
Yeah, yeah, and we partied in Vegas, and it was very cool to connect with the guys too, and to tell them like from my mouth the story, so they hear it how it was. Yeah.
And I'm sure they were very happy to hear such a success story because everybody wants to know that they are making a difference in the world. When it comes to making a difference in the world, you made quite a huge difference for a lot of people in Romania, and you created your own course, and it was one of the first courses, right, in Romania
Yeah.
on the topic of Amazon. So, what made you get to that?
It was inspiration because I felt like I wanted to share this with everybody, and the first people were people close to me, so I was sharing it with everybody, and then I wanted to share with more people. And I got inspiration from Matt and Jason creating the community that they did. I became good friends with Ryan Moran, and I was seeing what he was doing with the tribe. And I also became friends with Igor from Ukraine, and he had a community in Ukraine. And I started talking with my friends, telling them like, guys, this is cool. We can have our own community and we can have the course and so on. But they were very skeptical. They were saying like, dude, this is a secret. We must keep it close. It's ours. If you give it away, we'll have competition. And we don't want that. So let's keep it here, our secret. And I was like, it doesn't feel so good because people are finding out about this opportunity from around the world. So if not, it's not going to be Romanians. They're going to be people from South Africa, so or from Zimbabwe or whatever. So why not share it in our own country and see what it does? And not only in our country, for Romanians everywhere, because our course we made it in Romanian. So yeah, it was first my friend Klaus that said, okay, dude, let's do this. And we did. And the first edition, we were charging $500, and we had 110 people sign up. I was like, yeah, we're rocking it. And for the second edition, we thought, okay, now we validated our course. People are already getting results. Let's increase the price and let's see what it does. So we made the course $1,500 and we sold 170.
Wow.
And then for the third one, 420. And then 1,008. So the community is now close to 4,000 people. It's actually over 4,000 now because it's already over 4,000 people. And it's amazing how fast we grew and the results people are getting. That's the beautiful side. And then to also see a lot of people that signed up and didn't take action, or they took action without much results. So we have a full spectrum in our community, from people that are angry at me and are angry at Amazon and angry at the world for making this choice about Amazon and why it's so horrible. And then we have people that are so crazy and excited and have changed their life so much since then. I was talking. We had a summit, and you were a part of it. Thank you for coming to share your wisdom with everybody. We had some people in the group that came and they spoke about their experience. So there are guys that are doing now over $2 or $3 million per month in the community. So like I said, full
That's
spectrum.
beautiful. Yeah, it's so amazing how, like, I wish something like this would have been available when I lived there, because, we don't always know what path to take. So I'm just putting myself in the shoes of those who actually found your course. What an amazing opportunity, to have like a course that somebody's already accomplished, you were already selling, you're already successful, and then you took that experience and shared it with everyone, and then people started making money because of that. To me, that's absolutely fantastic. Anytime somebody touches another person's life and they can help them in other way, that's amazing. And of course, like you said, there will always be people who um you know they can't really, how do I explain this, they can't take what you give them and create something magical. I mean, what do you think the difference is between those who are successful and those who are not from your course? Because you are teaching the same concept to everyone. So what do you think made
Yeah.
one successful and one not?
That's something that has been keeping, it's not really keeping me up at night, but that's something that I've been really thinking of, because the content is the same. Like you said, we were sharing the same things, and people were taking that information and applying it totally in a different way. And if it wasn't if it was the information, then nobody would have had success, or there would have been a very small percentage of people having success. But when it's 20% or 30% from an edition of a course that people launch and then they go further and further and further, I'm like, okay, it can be the information. So the information is good, somebody is putting it to work, and it's creating results. So there must be something else. And from my perception, I may be wrong, I think it is a lot about mindset, and heart set, the way we set on this journey, and the way we connect with others, and the way we connect with our suppliers, the way we connect with ourselves. But it's all about the inside first. That's what I believe. It's about getting yourself in a state where you can be ready for any kind of obstacles. I had recently some interviews with guys from one of the editions of the course that we just finished, and they already have results in their business. So that's why we interviewed them, to showcase them to others. If you are in the same call with these guys, you get their energy, you get their excitement, it's in their eyes, they will go through you. They need this. It's something they you feel the burn, the desire, it's contagious. You spend time with these people and it starts to rub on you. You're like, oh man, yes, of course, we got 10K, and it's only the second month, but we are still moving ahead, and we are looking for the second project, for the second product, and this is how, like, it's very clear what's going on. And we were talking, asking them about obstacles, and what did you do when did you want to quit? What do you mean quit? I don't quit. I chose this, and I'm focusing on this, and I'm going to make it work. And you can feel from their words that it's what they mean, it's what they really decided with all their being, that this is going to work for them. And on the other hand, I see people posting different things like, no, the account doesn't work to be opened from Romania. I don't know about this. It's very hard. Nobody told me that we cannot do this. I don't know if I should continue. Please, guys, if anybody. So you can see from the wording and from how people are reacting to I can say small things, because in the community we usually find solutions for almost everything. So if you already are setting yourself up for failure, is what you're going to get. It's that feeling you have inside of, no, maybe I'm not worth it, maybe this business is not for me. And then reality will show you what you believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's some truthful words out there, and I see that a lot, and I can see how this is true for really anything, because it's not just your course. I mean, you see it for courses here in US, or for even those who haven't taken any courses. You know, if they're already setting themselves up for, like you said, for failure, then in their head there's no way to move forward. So every little thing that comes their way is like, I don't know if I can do this. So I totally get this. And you know, me and you have, I'm sure you have gone through a lot of obstacles in your life, and it really doesn't show, because for you it's just, there were just steps, right? Steps moving forward to where you are right now. Because if every obstacle that you had, you're like, you know what, I can't move forward, then of course it would be very hard for you to get to where you are right now. So that's so true about mindset, and that's why I love talking to people like yourself. And we'll get to this in a second. You call yourself the enlightened millionaire, right? And
Yes,
I
humble, enlightened millionaire. Yes, I love this. Yes.
I would love to hear how you got to that term. But it's like, you get to see all these people in their life making these decisions, and it's the decision that gets you to where you're going. You know, for me, coming from Romania, had I not chose to like leave everyone that I love at the age of 20, like everybody that I love, I have never left my city for more than like 2 days, and then I decide to move to another continent when I don't know anybody, I don't know the language. That was very hard for me. It was very hard. I could have chose to stay home to my little boyfriend that I had at that time, and you know, my friends. But you know, it was the decision, it was the moment where I was like, you know, this is going to be hard, but these are the moments that define us in life.
Yes.
it,
Yes.
it works in all areas of life, you know, personal and business, and really everything else. And I kind of love it. It's like, yeah, bring me more obstacles, because the more obstacles I have, I know there's going to be something even more amazing on the other side. So let's get back to that beautiful term of yours. I love it so much. So how did that come about?
So first of all, I want to just add something to what you said, because I think it's beautiful. This idea of going over these obstacles is actually expanding our comfort zone. I don't like to say that you are going out of your comfort zone, but expanding. So more and more and more. So the next time something comes in, you already have proof stacked in your history of doing shit, of taking action, of going over those obstacles. So now when something comes, you're like, huh, obstacle. You're not so much it's something that you are already used to. You are, the skin is getting thicker. You know, it's like an expression that you already are getting better at this unknown. Anything that we move into is the unknown, but you're getting so much more comfortable because you already have experience. So that's with that. Just wanted to add this. And then yes, I started recently to introduce myself as an enlightened millionaire. And a lot of people have different reactions to this, because there are two terms that are like quite uncomfortable for some people. And enlightened for some people, it's like maybe awake. You shouldn't be using enlightened. It's a bit too much, don't you think? Like, come on, nobody's really enlightened. Or do you think you are enlightened? And the second thing is with millionaire, because even my parents think that we shouldn't say it. That people that make a lot of money don't go out and say how much money they make. It's like, no, people are more don't talk about these things. And for me, both these words, both these terms have meanings. So I believe enlightened is a spectrum. I don't believe it's black or white. I believe sometimes I'm more enlightened and sometimes I'm not enlightened at all. But we all have this power to be more on this spectrum of enlightened more than we were yesterday. And if we change and if we work with ourselves, then we can get to a better state. So that's the enlightened part. And of course, it links to the spiritual and everything else. If you look up in the dictionary, in enlightened, it means freed from ignorance and misinformation. I love it. I love it because it's the freeing from inside. I'm being free from inside. Millionaire, for me, represents options. If you are a millionaire, you have options for anything you want. If I wake up in the morning and I want to get on a plane and come to LA and rent a Lamborghini and do whatever I want, I can do that. The second thing about being a millionaire that is amazing is that you can channel through you, that's how I feel now, the money towards anything you want. There's a quote that I really love from Joe Polish, and he says, people that think money can't buy happiness didn't give enough of it to others. So if you think millionaire means just you on top of the mountain screaming, I'm a millionaire, maybe that's why you don't like the term so much. But for me, it's something that I feel all this money is flowing through me, and I can say, I will support this cause. I will help my parents. I will buy myself something beautiful. I will gift this to the people around me. I will, like, it gives me so much joy and happiness to be able to do that. And I think there's no need to choose between one or the other, the spirituality and the material world. I think we can have them together and to combine them in a way that we can enjoy both being in the spiritual side and meditating and all this stuff, and beautiful things, physical, material. We are here on this planet to enjoy it all. I think if you are only choosing the spiritual, you are blocking the other type of energy that is within you, this power of being the creator of your life. If you think it's only about staying in a cave and meditating for a long time, that's fine. I don't think it's right or wrong. But for me, it's so much more exciting to combine them and to be like, this connection that I feel, it's amazing. And now let's do something crazy with spending a lot of money. Let's impact people's lives. Let's get this community together. Let's do things together. That's what excites me.
This is music to my ears, and I love that you chose this humble, enlightened millionaire, because if when you take all three terms, it's almost like they in our society that they contradict each other, but really
Yeah.
they don't, because you can be humble and know that you're enlightened and that you can
Yes.
also be a millionaire. And I love that you integrated all three and you explained why it's okay to be a millionaire, and also it's okay to talk about it, because I see that a lot, especially with people that are, maybe very religious, or even people that grew up in countries such as ours, where things like this are not really spoken of. So, just like you mentioned, like, oh, you can't say that you're a millionaire, you can brag. I had the saying growing up, like, you can really speak up, you have to
Mm.
just be quiet, keep to yourself. If you have anything, don't brag, don't tell anybody. And over years I realized that, the more you speak of your experiences, the more you can also inspire someone. So yeah, of course it's amazing having the money to have the freedom that you want, but even just inspiring somebody and helping somebody, it's again, it's that feeling of giving, whether you're giving money
Yes.
away, or you're supporting somebody, but you're also giving like your spirit away. And that's why I love talking to people, because it's like, somebody that's watching this now, they're like, holy cow, like, I can do this. I can do what Alex did. So it's so powerful what you just said, because being, a millionaire is not all about the money. I mean, yeah, it's great having that money, but having the freedom to like live in Bali, you
Yes.
if you are not secure enough financially, it would be very hard for somebody to be like, you know what, let me move everything that I have to Bali. So I think you're really making a great point, how you combine all these three things. Absolutely
Hmm.
beautiful.
Thank you. I was going to say also about giving. I think that's also one of the secrets to a good life. And I see a lot of people that want to help, but they're coming from a place of scarcity, of neediness. And they are. The energy is very closed, and it's from a place that you feel it when somebody comes and begs you or says, I'm supporting this cause and you need to give money for the shelter of the dogs, and if not the dogs will die, and they picture these things, and it's very dark. And then there's somebody that gives you the same version, but from a perspective of finding the solution and from a place of abundance. And okay, guys, we found ourselves in this situation. Listen, me and Jack got together, and we think that by expanding this shelter here, we can have more space, and that's how we will choose. And we just need this kind of money, but let's get together in a party. Let's have fun, and that's how we will raise the money. And so there are ways of getting to the same place, but from different type of energies, from different type of wants. That's what I noticed, and I am careful about this. And I want to create from a place of inspiration, not so much from a place of neediness. Of yes, if I can only help those people, like I'm projecting what I need for myself to somebody else. No, they need my help. I need to help them. But you can feel it in those people that they need help themselves. They need to have attention on themselves, and then to go out and help others. I think the difference is important.
It's very important. And how did you even come about like feeling like this energies, or how did you even become enlightened? Like, what was your road to this? Because I understand, like, you're in the business and you became very successful, but this is completely different, even though they tie in together. How did you come through your spiritual journey, let's call it that?
So first, I'm not again from the top of the mountain talking to people around me. I'm from the mud. I'm the guy that struggled with anxiety and struggled with depression a lot, and even now I have bad days. I'm not like walking on clouds here in Bali, and everything is beautiful, and we have unicorns and rainbows everywhere around the corner. I also get not so good days, and I stay in my bed and I'm on just my phone and I feel like life is shit. But those moments and those days are so much shorter and so fewer than what I was living before as a baseline. My baseline was maybe here before, and now it's somewhere here. I am more in a place of abundance and in a place of joy than going down in different days when I don't feel so good and I feel like what the fuck, and then I want to just stay with myself and need some love, and then I go back and create and make things. So first, that how this all started for me was the inside first, and then the business came second. The inside transformation started with books, with documentaries, things that were sometimes giving me not so good feelings because I was thinking that the world is going to shit. And I watched documentaries like Zeitgeist, and they were talking about the monetary system and how the 1% are trying to take over the 99%, and they will kill us, and and those things were putting ideas in my mind about not wanting to make more money, or if I want to make more money, these guys are going to take it away. And in my environment, I saw people like, you may know about this, corrupt politicians that were making a lot of money. I was seeing pimps in my neighborhood making a lot of money, and not a lot of good examples of how to live a real prosperous life. And the spirituality and the my clearing out the beliefs about money came kind of at the same time. I met a mentor, a guy that was living a totally different life, but was the same age as me and also from humble beginnings. And he started to teach me about business and about the mindset of a guy that is wealthy. And at the same time, I went to a Vipassana resort. A Vipassana resort is where you go for 10 days and you don't talk with anybody. And there's no technology, there's no pen and paper. You just sit with yourself from 4:30 in the morning until 7:30 in the evening. And that was a great experience for me, where I realized that the stories that I was telling myself about me can always be changed. For example, I thought I'm the rebel. If I go to this thing with Vipassana and I knew that they will tell me at some point, you're not allowed to move in this meditation, I was like, yeah, sure. When they're not looking, I'm going to move. Nobody tells me what to do with my body. If I want to move, I move. So I get there, and the guru guy at this Vipassana resort says, guys, we're not going to give you a diploma when this is over. If you cheat, you only cheat yourself. You will go home and you will know that you didn't really go through this experience the way it was meant to be done. I was like, shit, this guy can read minds. So from the second day that they introduced this aditana, that you're not allowed to move 3 times per day, more than 1 hour, I didn't move. So 3 times per day, 1 hour, I didn't move. So at the end of it, I was like, oh shit, if I want to, if I really want to, I can do it differently. And that helped me a lot in my business and in my worldview, my perspective moving on from there. all these labels that I created for myself, or all these things that I was saying that I'm not good enough, or that I can't do that, or I am like this. All these things I was able to put pause and to look at them. Is this really how it is, or can I change it, even if for a little time? Am I still the rebel now? Is it still part of my identity? Yes. But if I decide I really want to be focused and efficient in what I'm doing, this is what I'm going to do. Because the rebel or the procrastinator or any kind of label that I took on as me, my identity, I can change. I'm taking responsibility from now on that I want to be in a different way. So that really influenced my thinking and my approach to spirituality a lot. And since then, there have been numerous things that I've experimented with, including psychedelics and other techniques, and other spending time with masters, and trying to see what this spirituality stuff is all about, and not so much from going in this spiral, but more from understanding the world, more from understanding my place in the world, and for understanding what a good life really means, what it means to be free from inside, and also to be enjoying this world of form, how Jim Carrey likes to call it.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. He was one of my inspiration too. I remember when he wrote that check to himself. I forgot the amount. Maybe it was like $1 million or
A
something.
million, yeah.
And when I started my spiritual journey, I saw that and I was like, this is an example of somebody that really wants something. They visualize it, but they also work very hard to get to that point. But going back to your story, I love how you said that, you were watching all this documentaries and you were trying to find some path, some answer. And then when you were ready, the mentor showed up. And
Yes.
so many times in life, people are like, well, I don't get any help from anybody. Nobody wants to help me. And it's like, it's almost like they're blocking themselves from future opportunities. But because you were so open at that time to just learn so much, like you were able to pair up with somebody that could show you the way. Like for me, it was mostly through books. I didn't really have a mentor. I mean, throughout my years, people did show up in my life and started helping me. Like when I moved to US, people were just helping me left and right, because in my head I said, when I come to America, everybody's going to help me, because I had created a vision of this place where everybody's just so helpful. But I have met
Yeah.
people from my country that said America's the worst. Nobody helps
Yeah.
you. Everybody
Yeah.
hates you. They're liars. Why are they
Yeah.
always laughing? So for me, I didn't have that vision. For me, my vision was like, oh my God, I get to America, everybody's gonna love me and help me. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. But just like you said,
Amazing.
I've never had like bad days, but it was so beautiful planned. Like we were talking before, the serendipitous, right? Like I
Yes.
did the things and I'm like, oh my God, at this time I met this person and this person helped me either like in some way, maybe my mind or however, but it pushed me to the next step, into the next step, into the next step. It's really so beautiful, this journey that we all go through, if you are willing to let just let yourself be. And another thing that I love that you talked about is labels and tags that we tell ourselves, because I do this, and I'm sure you still do this at times. Like for me, I never thought I was going to talk in front of like hundreds of people. And, when my first speaking gig came, and, I was telling myself, like, who wants to hear from me? Like, I'm nobody. And all these like childhood things came up. And then I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? I have a decision to make. I either do this, and if I suck, then guess what? Nobody's gonna remember anyway. We're here for such a short period of time that in like
Yes.
generations, nobody's gonna remember you anyway. So it's like, okay, I can do this right now and do this for myself, or I can like say no and stay home and regret it for my whole life. But my God, what a beautiful experience you had with the what is it, Vipassana? Is
Vipassana, yeah.
I
It's a technique. It's about 4,000 years old, and they say this is how the Buddha got enlightened. So the way he does it, and it's about your breath, and then it's about paying attention to parts of your body on your skin. So it's a beautiful experience. Actually, I very recommend it to anybody that feels confident and that feels ready to take on this adventure, because it's like 10 days. I thought I can't live without my phone. I thought I can't stay away from my friends. Different thoughts came to me. But in reality, once I got there and I was committed to it, all the other thoughts went away, and I knew that I'm doing this for myself. And the version of me that will come out of this will be much better for everybody else, not only for me. So I'm taking this 10 days off. I won't be able to talk to anybody, but I felt inside that there's something to it. And it was. And I felt amazing. And I went again and did Vipassana last year again.
Wow. Well, who introduced you to it? Because it's not something that people just hear about this. How?
Yeah, yeah. It's very interesting because I had a New Year resolution to meet more people. I realized I was hanging out with the friends and the colleagues that I had in high school, and I was also hanging out with people from my workplace. So never really went outside of these boxes. So I started going to a lot of events about entrepreneurship, marketing, personal development, and I met people that were talking about this Vipassana. And then I was like, okay, I will look it up. And I looked it up and saw that there's this retreat in Romania, in the mountains somewhere. And I decided to contact them. And I went, and that was it.
So 10 days, you absolutely speak nothing, no words, or
Nada, nada.
not from you and not from the people like
No, nobody.
either.
Yeah, only there are some instructions every night that you get for the next day. Like, okay, guys, tomorrow is about standing still and about this, and you already know the schedule, and very easily you get in this. I noticed, not only from Vipassana, but also from other experiences in my life, that we can adapt to anything. We as humans are very adaptable. We have a great power inside of us. And I noticed, for example, in Africa, people drinking water the color of the closet behind you, and people living in conditions that you or me would think are horrific, or that they don't use technology. They chose to be outside of civilization. So by being there around them, it was at first very hard not to judge them. Like, oh my God, they have flies over here. How can you live with flies all day long, to have 3 or 4 flies over your eye, and pissing in the same place where they're eating, and like, oh my God, what is going on? You can say that coming from our background and with our interpretation. But if you can let go of all these things, you start to realize that people there are as happy and as sad as we are. And by we are, I mean as we set up our internal state to be in. It's not about the outside, it's about the inside. I saw people that were crazy having fun, and they were laughing and playing and like so good, so excited about life. And I saw people that were sad and people that were angry. But this was the same tribe. They were the same tribes, but they were feeling different. Was it because of the environment? No. It was how they set themselves up for life, how they set up their own internal dialogue, and how they view the world, how what filter they view the world. So again, that's one of my biggest lessons and takeaways from being in this environments, that we as humans can adapt to anything. It can be luxurious places in Bali or anywhere around the world, or it can be the slums or the worst places where you're not allowed to do anything, like was it Vipassana, or in with the tribes in Africa where they have terrible conditions. It's actually how you are inside. You're not dependent on anything outside. It's the inside that's really what it's about.
I love this, Alex. This is so good. Before we close out today, if you were to, for somebody that's listening right now and they feel very, very stuck in, their life journey or anything, like what are some things that you would say to them? Like maybe some action items that they can take today from this.
Right. I would say one of my biggest takeaways lately has been the understanding that we are actually never in control, especially with the situation now with COVID and everything. Were you actually in control of your life before? No, but it was more on autopilot, and things were coming your way because it was planned, and it was kind of on a treadmill. But now that something is happening outside of us, how we're reacting, and this relationship with the unknown, I think, is very important, because the future is unknown to us. We don't know what is going to happen. So the more proof we stack on how comfortable we can be with the things coming in our world, the more our comfort zone expands and we can deal with more and more things. So do this by making small differences to your daily life, and see how you can adapt to this new changes, and making small steps at first. You'll be able to make big steps in a short amount of time. I see people changing their lives completely between 6 and 18 months. And I believe most of people watching this are able to do that. If it's the inside decision, then you are able to do it. So that's my advice, and that's my um, experience in the last few months. And yes, stacking this proof has been very helpful.
I agree. Thank you, Alex, for your time today, and I know everybody else watching really appreciates this. So thank you for everything, and I can't wait to see you. Hopefully this next year in Romania or in Bali or whatever.
Or somewhere else. Yes, say likewise. Thank you, Isa. It's been great. Thank you very much.